I'm Amanda.
And this is Family Magic Weekly, the Grand Mac of all Disney YouTube channels.
Someone's really excited about the Grand Mac.
I apologize in advance for my shirt matching the color of our walls. Today we're talking about the top 6 things that we would like to do at Walt Disney World that we haven't done. We're in the process of starting to plan our trip, and we're looking at things to try. We obviously want to go do the old favorites, but we want to start looking at other options. Things, some out of the box, some things fairly conventional that we just have never gotten around to. So, without further ado, here is our top 6.
So the first thing seems to always just doesn't match up with our schedule time-wise is the Festival of the Lion King show. And I think we've talked about it before when we've talked about going to Animal Kingdom. Mm-hmm. People who've watched the show have raved about it. And if you are a person who follows Disney YouTubers and have ever watched See You Real Soon, Joe and Ashley are big fans. And I think that's probably where I saw it and decided I really wanted to see it, but it's a set show with the times, and it just never seemed to match up with our schedule.
Yeah.
But I think our next trip we're gonna have to make a point to make it to the Festival of the Lion King.
It's a show too, so it also has to match up with your child's temperament if you're going with kids, because the show is just, I think we've talked about this before. It's not so much the show that becomes an issue, it's the waiting for the show to start. It's getting there early enough to get a good seat, but not so early that you're
done before you start.
You're arm wrestling 45 minutes with a toddler.
Right.
But it does look good. Some of it looks a little goofy for me personally, but a lot of it does look appealing also.
And it looks like something that would captivate a child.
The monkey people are just goofy. Number 5.
Prepare to be wowed.
Yeah. We've never had a Dole Whip. And people go ape over the Dole Whip. And we've just never had one. It's not that we don't want to have one. But at the same time, it's never been like, for some people it's a destination. We have to go get a Dole Whip. Where can we get a Dole Whip? We're not in the Magic Kingdom today. Where can I get one here? People just freak out about getting this Dole Whip. If we happen to be by one someday, and the line doesn't look by the area in Adventureland, and the line doesn't look terribly long, we'll go get one. So hopefully this trip will have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think last time we were there, the line was just like when we first passed it in the morning, it wasn't open yet, and then the next time we passed it, it was just way too long, and I don't have the patience for that. After helping someone, a friend who was just there, she was messaging me questions throughout their whole trip, and she said, please tell me I can get a Dole Whip somewhere not at the Magic Kingdom. You can, but there's only one other place you can get it, and that is at the Polynesian.
Yes.
So at Captain Cook's, if you're ever at the Polynesian, that you can get a Dole Whip there. The only other place is the Magic Kingdom. Can't wait to try it. I like pineapple.
Yeah. Pineapple gives me heartburn. I'll need a Tums Whip after I have it.
Number 4. We talked about doing this our last trip, and I think just budget-wise, we decided to eliminate it. Mm-hmm. You can do a boat rental on the Seven Seas Lagoon.
Yeah. Or Crescent Lake. So they have 3 different kinds of boats you can rent. You have sea racers, Boston whalers, and pontoon boats. Sea racers are about $32 per half hour, and the pontoon boats and the whalers are $45 for a half hour. I personally would like to do the Seven Seas Bay Lake area in them, because it'd be kind of neat to check out the area like Discovery Island or Big River Country. I think you can get a good look at some of the remnants of those areas while touring around.
That would be really cool.
You might be able to check out Roy's Cabin. It's a shout out to the Retro Disney World podcast. I'll have to tag them in this video. You can try and search up Bruce Cabin in the Bay Lake area. But it just seems like it seems like a neat idea. I hear they go pretty slow. I think they have regulators on the motor, so you're not going to be speeding around like John Candy and Dan Aykroyd in the great outdoors out there. But you are, it is an idea for something, on a non-park day to go out there and, have some fun, tool around, see the area in a way that you're not used to seeing it. So our number 3 is behind the scenes tour, which we actually have done. We've done the Keys to the Magic Kingdom tour, and we really enjoyed it. What's holding us off from probably doing one this next trip is a lot of the good tours. You have to be 16 years or older. There are tours that involve that kids can go on, but the main ones there's a backstage tour, a 7-hour backstage tour that's like $200 a person. There are annual pass and DVC discounts for those, but the backstage tour takes you to every park. I believe it starts at Epcot, and then you skip around Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom. And lunch is included, transportation. There are a few other interesting safari tours at Animal Kingdom itself that we've also looked at.
I think one of the safari tours at Animal Kingdom would be the next one on my list that I'd be really interested in seeing. You get your own like SUV ride. It's kind of like it's a safari truck. Mm-hmm. It's like they have a small group. Kids are allowed, but I think you have to be 12, I want to say, like somewhere in the preteen age. And you do, they have different pathways that you get out of the truck and you can walk. We saw one of the tours on one of our last safari rides, mm-hmm. Where when we're passing, they're on the other side of where the animals were, and they were you are bungee roping bridges and stuff, that kind of thing. And that's another one where they have lunches included, and mm-hmm. I've heard great things about the tours. But I mean, chances are, if you're paying that much money for something at Disney, you're not going to be disappointed. I was skeptical when we did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, mm-hmm. and that was something that you wanted to do, because he's more into the history mm-hmm. of the parks, and I thought it's a whole day in the park on top of the price of a park ticket. Right.
So that's another important thing. A lot of those are that it's the tour, park ticket required, but not included in the price.
Right. So
the backstage tour is different though. The backstage tour park ticket is not required or included. So you can spend 7 hours in that tour and you don't have to pay to get in any of those parks.
I think when we did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, it was about $115 a person, mm-hmm. and we went in before park opening, which was really cool. And we actually, the tour started before the park opened, and they take you down a little back alley, and you actually watch the mad dash once the park opens.
Which isn't there now, which won't happen now because of the new welcome show.
Yeah, I left that tour raving about it, and I've told everyone since that it's something that you have to do when you're at Disney if you don't if you don't have kids with you.
Right.
And it's worth every penny. So I would be very excited to see other tours.
Number 2 is staying at the Grand Floridian. We've kind of touched on this before, how it's one of the the keystone cornerstone resorts of that the Seven Seas Lagoon area. And we love the location of it. We love the look of it. It's definitely on our to-do list in terms of resorts to stay at. It's number 1 with a bullet on the ones that we haven't been to yet. A lot of those reasons are sort of self-explanatory. I don't really need to belabor it, but it's definitely a place we really want to stay.
Mm-hmm. Number 1, dinner at Victoria and Albert's.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Another one without kids.
Yeah, another one without kids. Why didn't we do this stuff before we had kids? So if you don't know what Victoria and Albert's is, it is the finest of dining at Disney, as Chris just said. Kids are not allowed at Victoria and Albert's.
Yeah, and men have to wear a blazer.
Yeah. So, the other YouTubers we watched.
And women have to wear high heels.
You're making that part up.
Yeah, I am. We're wearing a blazer, ladies. We're on a pair of high heels. It's fine. Yeah, I mean it's fine dining. It's a prefixed multi-course. I think it's 7 or 12 course. I think you have options, 5 or 7 course meal. It's very people that have done it almost say it's like 2 or 3 hours long. It's almost akin to a show. It's like a dinner at a show. It's an
experience.
Yeah, it's really the meal's really an experience. You can sort of look at the little courses that you get and sort of scoff at the size of these meals or these portions. However, my experience has been when you go to meals like that, everything is so well balanced. One thing you eat leads into the next, and you usually end up leaving meals like that fairly fulfilled, not bloated to the point that you need to go back to your room and lay down. Just like the perfect amount of food. If you're looking to bloat yourself, there's plenty of places in Disney World to gorge yourself to the point of rupture. However, this is more of a sort of a more refined. It's snooty, but sometimes it's good to be a little snooty. Now, an addendum to dinner at Victoria and Albert's is, if that's still not snooty enough for you, there's Victoria and Albert's, the chef's table, which is a big long table set up off the kitchen, where the chef sort of hosts a meal. He plans out the meal for you and pairs it with wine, and you sort of get, him explaining dishes as you eat. That really appeals to me. I would love to do that, absolutely. But as expensive as Victoria and Albert's is, that's even more expensive.
So, we've been to Disney multiple times, and I don't think that we can ever say that we've done it all. But off the top of our heads, these are probably the things that we're gonna try to cross off our list first. I feel like every time that we go and we spend a good amount of time, we're always leaving saying, "Oh man, we didn't get to do that." So for those friends of yours that are like, "Aren't you sick of going to Disney?" Explain to them that there's always something new and there's always something to do. Yeah. I've been more times than I can remember, and there's still so much left to do.
Yeah, there are experiences for everyone and new experiences for everyone. If you have any that you'd like to share that maybe we've done, we'd be happy to talk about those if you'd like, or like to know what your own top 6 is, or top 7 or 5 or whatever arbitrary number you want to assign. So we'd love to hear about it.
So be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We are Family Magic Weekly. On Twitter, we are at Family Magic WKLY.
We're getting up there in followers, so please check us out and follow us, and hit us up on all those social media outlets.
And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and give our video a like. Or check out my craft vlog if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, which also will be on FamilyMagicWeekly.com.
Yep. I got a lot to do.
All right, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week.
Be careful.